Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lena from iGive.com, and we are so glad to have you here with us today. We are just going to do a few pieces of housekeeping while we are waiting for the remainder of people to sign in. But just so everyone knows, this webinar is being recorded, and if you have friends, family, loved ones who missed this exciting webinar and want to see it, you will be emailed a link, and it will also be posted on the iGive YouTube channel and at support.igive.com, or if for some reason you have to leave us in the middle, you can watch the recording later. And if you have to leave and have questions, please feel free to email us. You can open a ticket at support.igive.com and ask your questions, but if you're here with us, we really want to hear your questions. You will be muted, but in that questions pane, where that red arrow is pointing to, you can type your questions and one of us will get back to you. Also, if your dashboard does go away, because periodically it does do that, you can click on that orange arrow and it will expand it once again. So, today's agenda, we're going to talk a little bit about the power of iGive, and then a lot about social media. That's the big topic of today. And because you're here, you're going to get to learn about our promo that's coming up before everybody else does. And then we'll have some Q&A and some announcements about our next webinar. I am joined today by Sandy Schleicher, our Chief Technology Officer.
Hi, everybody.
And before we actually start, I wanted to take a poll. So here we go. We are going to launch our poll. Hopefully you can sign on and answer it. And let's see. It says share. I'm so sorry, my poll is doing something goofy. It's not joining. Oh, you are viewing it. Great, perfect. So if you could please vote and let us know, how long have you been a member of iGive? And I'm just curious about that because it always helps us to know who's here and who's on our system. So,
Lena, are you asking personally as an iGive member or the cause been
personally,
on iGive?
I'm curious personally. I just wanted to know personally. So please vote away. Nobody's voting, it says. I want to know if everyone would vote. Can people?
It says attendees are viewing poll results.
Uh-oh.
I think you did the wrong thing.
I think I maybe blocked it. I am so sorry. Let's see what happened. Let's see. As you can see, I'm going to try and fix this and do this while we're doing this.
All right. Well, a little technical glitch here, everybody.
I apologize.
And
I'll tell you what. Can you get, since this doesn't seem to be working, and I must have closed it by accident.
Yeah, why don't we just get rid of
We're
this?
just going to get rid of it. And if you wanted to answer in the chat section or in the questions section, that would be awesome. And we'll go back to our screen. I apologize for that. All right. Well, here we are back in our thing. So let's get started and let's talk a little bit about the power of iGive. So iGive continues to grow in all ways every year. We've been around since 1997, and it's a really exciting time for us because every week we get new retailers. We say 1,700 plus. I'm just waiting for that sign off from our retail manager to tell us that I can change that to 1,800 different retailers. We've got 350,000 members and over 35,000 causes. And one of the things that's also really fun for me as the cause manager is to see the types of causes that are a part of our group. They just range in size, in scope, in service, and to see so many people going out there and doing really cool things is a lot of fun for me. Sandy, is there any particular causes that you've seen recently where you're like, wow, I didn't even know someone was doing that? I think like every time he's given me a look like
You're like, geez, you're supposed to prep me on a question like that so I have an answer. I have no idea.
Well, I have to tell you, I got to talk to one cause this week that helps support families going through divorce. And I was like, wow, that's a great thing. And like she tries to provide her services for little to no cost to families because sometimes when you're going through a divorce, you know, your money can be tight. And I thought that was a really cool thing. And she was really excited about being able to use iGive. And of course, then I have to say I'm a sucker for pets. For anyone who watches my Monday Musings on Facebook, and we'll talk more about that later, you may have seen Lily is my little cat, and she was adopted from a rescue, and she was abused before we adopted her. So to me, anyone who helps out pets is near and dear to my heart. So we'll just jump right into social media. I was talking about my Monday Musings, and part of the reason we use social media here at iGive is because it's a great way to connect. And when I was putting information together for this webinar, I found this, and it says, choosing the right social media platform for your business. And one of the key things that I want to remind causes that are out there is that causes are actually a business. I know that it's hard sometimes when we think that we're out there doing good and we're raising money for good works, but we really are all businesses in some way, shape, or form. Our business is just helping people or helping animals or doing something really good in the world. So this is a current sort of snapshot of the most popular social media platforms that are out there. We have Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Google+. And as you see, it talks about like what are the differences, like who's using what. And I like that second to bottom column of what is it best for. Facebook is best for building brand loyalty. Twitter, great for public relations. When you're limited to how much characters you have in a post, you can't really give a ton of information, but you can get out there and let people know about things. Pinterest is great for visuals. Honestly, so is Instagram. And that's, I think, why those are both lead generations, because they have to do with pictures and visual images, and those are awesome. YouTube is actually interesting. Do you know, Sandy, I read something that said that more people search on YouTube than almost any other search engine other than Google?
You know, I use it a lot personally. I just, you know, when we were sitting here, I was talking about a problem I had with my computer just yesterday. I had to restore my computer from backup. It was a very traumatic experience. And I was using YouTube to see how to set up an automatic backup to use a third-party service, in this case Dropbox.
And I think, too, with so many easy ways to create videos now, YouTube is becoming more and more popular. So, okay, we're going to try that poll concept again, and we're going to see if it's going to work. And here we go. Here is our poll. What is your favorite form of social media? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, or something else? So we got 55% of you are voting. Awesome. 61. We're almost there. And 81. Oh, look at that. I wish I could show you guys what I'm seeing, because I see these little things popping up in real time as people are coming and adding their. It's interesting. I think that Facebook clearly is popping out here, and
far and away
as the top rated answer. I'm going to give this just another 10 seconds. So please vote. And we're going to close it in 3, 2, 1. And here we go. We're going to close it. And now, let's see. You should be able to see the poll results. So, I believe it says that it is sharing the poll results.
Yep.
And so 79% of you use Facebook, which really does not surprise me, because, again, Facebook is really about building relationships, where some of these others, Twitter is about conversations, Google+, which we didn't have on here, would fit into that other, is about news and articles. LinkedIn really is a strong business platform, you know, and Pinterest and Instagram. So that's just really interesting. And let's go back to our screen.
You know, we have a question already from Robert, and he asks, what social media platform is represented by the "in" logo on that last slide? And that would be LinkedIn, www.linkedin.com. If you're not familiar with that, it's a great business social media site for making contacts for all kinds of purposes for business.
Absolutely, and we can talk about that a little bit more too. So,
and by the way, we encourage you all to ask questions while we are going here. And some we may answer in real time, like we just did for Robert. Other ones we may come back to at the end of the webinar. We are going to have a Q&A session at the end. Lena, I think, already mentioned that. But never hurts to mention it again, because we love answering your questions.
Absolutely. So, the question is, we've got all of these different choices. So how are you using them? How are you using social media? And one of the most important things, I think, is these three things that I put up here. And some of it came from some research I was reading by the Case Foundation. But first of all, what are you saying? Right? I have friends who, I'm not on social media because I don't care who went to the grocery store. Well, you're right. If I'm just posting that I went to the grocery store, that's a pretty boring conversation. If I'm just posting, events all of the time, that's pretty boring. But if I'm having a conversation with people, if I'm having engagement with people, that changes the equation entirely. And it starts conversations and it reconnects people. So personally, not on a cause page, on my personal page, I posted something asking people to tell me what their favorite ice cream flavor was. And what I found interesting about that was, first of all, not only that a lot of my friends like mint flavored ice cream and I hate mint flavored ice cream. So I thought that was just pretty funny. But more interestingly, some other friends of mine who didn't realize that they knew each other were able to connect. And some friends who hadn't been in touch in a while, who realized that they were both friends with me, were able to start a conversation. And really, that's what social media is all about. It's about starting that conversation and making those connections between people. So if you're just using it as a flat announcement, you're not getting that engagement. If instead of just saying, hey, we're having this event on Tuesday, but say, hey, we're having an event on Tuesday, does anyone have a suggestion for what kind of soda we should serve? Or, hey, post here if you're attending so that other people know that you're there. You're starting a conversation a little bit. And I think that that's really important. And it says that, the research shows 74% of not-for-profits are only using their social media to announce events. That's pretty boring. Then the other thing is connect. It's about connections. Be responsive and share from others. Don't always talk about yourself. It's really good to get out there and say something that's going on from someone related to your cause or something interesting that you think you can share. So Stephen Shattuck at HubSpot is a really brilliant guy, and he's done a lot of research out there on different social media strategies. And I found this graphic that he made, so that's why I'm sharing it with you, that says that there's sort of a three-pronged approach to not-for-profit social media. 1, appreciation. 2, advocacy. And 3, appeals. That you should recognize your donors and make sure you're doing that about a third of the time, that you're engaging and sharing content with others, and then the last third, you are sort of jumping in there and saying, help us do this, help us, raise money. What is your appeal? What is your goal? What do you need people to do? So, here's some really simple free tips on using social. We talked about one in the other part. Highlight a donor. And I know that these are a little bit small. And let's see if I can sort of make them bigger. I don't know if it'll show up bigger.
By the way, if you're going to highlight a donor, make sure you get permission to use that donor's information.
That is absolutely true. Oh,
there you go.
That's okay. Weird. But this happens to be the the post I put up there, which is a little bit small, and I apologize. Is Catholic Charities posted on social media and said, thank you to a donor and thank them for helping support, oh, there we go. I was able to make it big. Helping them to support what was going on. Another tip is to have a really specific ask. And okay, I'm being a little self-serving here because Margaret Connor posted about iGive, and so I really was excited about that. But she said, the iGive Do You is a wonderful program. Look into it, those of you who are online shoppers. So probably all of you. But it was a specific ask. It was saying, hey, I want you to look into this. I want you to support this. The next thing that is sort of interesting is the concept of share content more than once. And the reason I put that up there is that on social media, there are algorithms. And we were having a conversation with my family this past Sunday that my mother never seems to see my daughter's posts. And she's like, did she block me? No, Mom, she didn't block you. But Facebook changed the algorithm. And it changes it all of the time. And so if you're not actively looking at somebody's page, you may or may not show up on their page. However, if you reshare content, you may have a better chance of getting people to see it or to see it differently. And you've got to be careful about how you do it. You don't want to be in their face all the time saying it exactly the same way. But here, this was a great answer. It was, in case you missed it, ICYMY, for those of you who are not tech savvy. But in case you missed it, check out this great podcast interview with WaterAid America. WaterAid America is another cause that is listed with iGive.com. So she was sharing, she had shared earlier that the podcast was going to take place, and then she shared when it was live, and then she posted again and said, in case you missed it, here's how you can see what we did. And that's always a great way to, just switch it up just a little bit and let people know. Finally, interact with others. So now you all get to see what I look like. That's a picture of my beautiful face, and that's actually a copy of my Twitter profile. And that picture goes with both interact with others and monitor your followers. On my personal page, not the iGive page, but my personal page, I have just over 1,000 followers. It's a lot of people, but I really do make an effort to try and go in there and respond to people's tweets, to retweet things that I think are interesting to other followers. So I'm not only monitoring what's going on and what people are saying, but I'm also interacting. And when someone does mention me, I always make sure I say thank you back and tell them that I really appreciate what is going on and what they're doing, and the fact that they mentioned me. So we're going to move on.
I keep my friend list much smaller on Facebook, but because I keep it to people that, not just people that I happen to know, but real friends. But on LinkedIn, I use it very differently, right? Anybody who I've had any contact with, I'm willing to link with on there. So, it's all about making personal choices in that way and making sure that you're using the right tool for what you're doing and how you want to do it.
I agree, 100%. And that transitions really nicely into this slide, which is Facebook is our favorite. Here at iGive, Facebook really works well for what we do. And I sort of wanted to share with you some of the different kinds of ways that we use Facebook. So we sort of talked more generically about those ideas of asking and thanking and, how do you balance it. But really for iGive, this is how we use it. So the first two pictures on the left are about information, right? We want to share information with you, our supporters, with people who are potentially using iGive, and we want you to know what's going on. So every Friday we have Free Shipping Friday. I don't know how many of you knew that, but every Friday we post, sometime on Friday morning, a business that is committed to giving free shipping. We also do New Store Sundays on Sundays. And periodically through the week we have other offers. So we're sharing information about specific retailers that we're working with that are doing things. We also post, it's that time of month, checks are in the mail, so people know that. That's a great one to share, by the way. Friends always love knowing that the tool you're using works. And so by sharing it on social media, that helps a lot. We also post on under information, we have a blog called Merchant Good Works. .igive.com, and we will periodically post that to our Facebook page so people can see what's going on in our blog. Then there's inspiration. Every once in a while, we're touched by something, a cool quote, a neat picture, something that makes us laugh, something that just makes us feel good, and we post that. So, this was Motivation Monday a couple weeks ago. We posted, you're off to great places. Today's your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. It's a great Dr. Seuss quote. So we post that. Now, we're a business, so we use Facebook advertising. And by the way, depending on the size of your cause, Facebook advertising can be a great way to reach out and get new members and to communicate things. It can be very cost effective. and I encourage people to look at that. But this is something that we used as an ad that ran last week to potentially target new causes to utilize iGive.com for animal welfare.
Hey, Lena, Sally asks, are you suggesting that we, nonprofit organizations, share these items on our pages too? Now, I think she's asking about resharing the things that iGive is sharing, which I'll let you talk to, but I would say very specifically, Sally, that if something moves you or you think it would be inspiring to the people who follow your page, your cause, then absolutely you should be posting stuff like that.
Absolutely, and absolutely anything that is on our page is free for sharing. Well, you have our permission, and please share it, share it, share it, and share it some more. The other reason we use Facebook is access. So at the top is, and I did black out the people's names, but while we do, I will be honest, we do prefer that for really technical type questions, we ask you to use support.igive.com. If you're on Facebook and you have a quick question that we might be able to answer, please go ahead and send us a message and let us know what's going on. We may write back and tell you to go to support.igive.com. I will be honest, we are good at checking our Facebook messages, and we always respond, by the way, always respond. That's a really important thing. If someone sends you a message, respond to it. It's important. But it is a way for people to have access to us, and we like that. Yeah.
Well, here's an important thing about that. If what you are going to ask is something specific about your account or your cause, don't do it on Facebook. Do it through the support application, because we don't get email addresses, we don't get good names for your cause for doing searches. The best way to interact with us for something specific to you or to your cause is to go in through support.igive.com, because that way we can look up your information and the whole interaction is tracked.
Absolutely.
As well.
But, you know, if it's something more fun or, you know, that you want to share, or a more general kind of a question.
Yeah, just a generic question. How do you do X?
Then go ahead and send it to us on Facebook. The last way is my Monday Musings, is an access discussion. We thought that it was important to sort of have people hear from iGive sometimes and hear from us in a different way. So every Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and by the way, if you don't like that time, let me know, because we're debating on the time here. I do Lena's Monday Musings, and by the way, I will talk about almost anything you want me to talk about. I'm open to that too, so please feel free to shoot me a note or post on our Facebook page and say, Lena, would you talk about this or would you talk about that? I talk for 2 or 3 minutes about something different. If you're not available at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, it does get posted to our page, and you can watch it later. So those are some different ways that we're using Facebook. I think that Twitter is another resource that we use, and Twitter also is very good for starting a conversation. So we use the hashtag iGiveDoYou, and we encourage you to do that, to retweet your favorite quotes about giving and add our hashtag, or talk about how your cause is using iGive to raise funds, or you know, tweet us an image. We would love that, and we'll retweet it if you tag us, that talks about how funds raised through iGive are helping your cause. And by the way, you could post one of those or send one of those to us on Facebook as well. We also do use YouTube. As I mentioned at the very beginning of this webinar, today's webinar will be posted on our YouTube channel. We have some other things that we have posted up there. We have tutorials. And so if you have people who like video, this is a great way to introduce more supporters to the iGive concept and to show them who we are and what we do. And they can watch our webinars, or they can watch, we had a little TV spot that we ran about 2 years ago, some different things. And it's a great tool. Video is always a great tool. Pinterest is something that I personally struggle with. It doesn't work great for me, but I've heard from a lot of causes, and as you can see, particularly pet-related causes, they are using Pinterest really successfully. So there's something called rich pins that you can like post as content and say that I want to buy this or I need this. So let's say, for example, that you are a pet shelter and you need a specific kind of pet food. You could put a picture of that on Pinterest, pin it and say, we're always in need of this pet food, and here's the link to the store at iGive to buy that pet food. And that's a great way to do that. You can also put information about your mission, and you can showcase supporters, again, with their permission, but showcase supporters that are iGive members.
So Lena was talking about the link to the store in that pin for, say, dog food or whatever the pet food is. And I don't know if we're going to talk about this in this webinar, but if you set up a favorite store to go to one of the different pet food stores that we have online, you can use the
gift
registry link, and then anybody can use that, and whether they're an iGive member or not, and it will make sure that a donation gets made to your cause.
And by the way, we aren't really going to spend a lot of time on that, but if you had a question like that and you go to support.igive.com in our knowledge base, if you searched gift registry, a whole article would pop up there and tell you what you need to know. I will say that for most frequently asked questions, support.igive.com, the knowledge base is a perfect solution. Instagram is also another one that's good for visuals. So you can post a photo with information. You can tag iGive Do You. You can post a favorite item that you've purchased and let people know that you bought it through iGive.com. And you can also take that image, like when we send out an image that says how many checks have been sent. If you've got an Instagram account, copy it from Facebook and post it on your Instagram and let people know. It's a great thing. Or create your own to say, hey, we just got a check for, $52 from iGive Shopping. Thank you.
And people love seeing that the causes that they're supporting are doing good and the specifics of the good that's being done. So I know we're talking a lot about pets and stuff as an example, but you could post different pictures of the animals that your shelter is helping, and people would love to see that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now we're going to move into, those are just a couple of ones that are our favorites that we've been using at iGive, but we also want to sort of talk about how iGive can assist you a little bit in social media. So one of the first things that we're going to do, and I'm going to have Sandy switch over his screen in just a second, I'm going to actually give him control of our presentation, is to connect both your personal page, your personal account on Facebook, and your cause page on Facebook. And people do ask me frequently, why in the world would I do that? Well, one of the statistics that we have done research on is that causes that connect their fan page with iGive see an average of 395% more donations. Why? Because you're reminding people it's out there. You're reminding people that it's something to use. There's a lot of different choices, and Sandy is going to walk through all of those choices as to how to use iGive and how to do it. Before we switch over to his screen, he's going to walk us through these steps, but basically it's a relatively simple process to do this. It's just about 4 steps. So I am going to change the presenter over now to Sandy, and I'm going to let him show you how to connect to Facebook.
Okay, so the first thing, whoops, let me hide all this stuff because I don't know if you're seeing all the...
No.
Okay, all right, so I'm logged into my iGive account here, and if you remember the first line of Lena's instructions, it said, go into your Facebook account and log out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So you see the entire process here that we're going to go through. So here I am in my account. The first thing to know is, first of all, to do this, you have to be a cause administrator for your cause. That means you have the cause ID and cause password. The cause ID is a number. Password can be whatever your password is for your cause. But regular members who don't have this information can't do this. So you have to be the cause administrator. And the second thing is, on the Facebook side of things, you have to be an administrator of the fan page that is set up for your cause. Now, usually Facebook, you've got your wall, your personal account, and then you might have created a page called a fan page for your cause, and that's what we're talking about. You can have multiple administrators for a fan page. Lena, so we've got iGive.com, which is a business, but it's also a fan page. So Lena's an admin for that. I'm an admin for that. Various people are. So you can have multiple administrators for that. But those are kind of two key things that you need to know before doing this, because without those two things, you can't move forward. So the first thing to do, once you're logged into your iGive account, and you can see here I am, is click on this link over here in the header that says cause. That's going to take me to the cause dashboard, where I can see all kinds of information about my cause. Of course, it's being a little slow all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's
It was fine 3 minutes ago.
We did test it.
I wonder if it has to do with recording the webinar, because I did it before that. All right, try again here. Click on something else. Oh, so it looks like it has nothing to do with the cause page. It's just my computer being slow, I think. All right, so we'll try this again. There we go. All right, so once you're on the cause dashboard, you can see various information, statistics about their cause, about your cause. Everybody who's a member who's supporting your cause can see this information. When you click open this menu on the left-hand side, you can see that there is an option over here to link Facebook to iGive. There's also one here to link Twitter to iGive. We're not going to show you that one today. It's actually a little bit simpler than Facebook, so we're just going to walk you through Facebook here. So you go ahead and you say you want to do that, and here's the instructions. Here's some information about what you're going to see and what you can, why you would want to link your iGive account to Facebook. Basically, it's telling you we currently have 4 different kinds of information that we can automatically post on your behalf to your Facebook fan page. So when this shows up, it's going to say that in the example I'm showing you, Troop 67 posted this, okay, and you'll be able to see the information. So we have registration links, and that is something that we recommend you post once a week or once a month. You can decide how often you're doing it. It depends how often you have other content that you're posting to your Facebook page. Like Lena was talking about earlier, it's really important that you have content out there that's not just from iGive, because people will get bored with that.
Absolutely.
Very quickly.
And one thing that I do, we're going to show you in a second about the fact that you have some choices on, and why don't we start moving ahead on that? You have some choices of how often things are going to get posted, but remember that something like supporting your shopping activity, that isn't something you can control based on how often you want it to post. It's based on whether your members, the members that are supporting your cause, agree to it, and whether or not they're shopping.
Right.
The more they shop, the more it's going to post.
That's true.
So you just need to be aware of that.
Yep. So that's one of the types, that's supporter shopping. We have a monthly recap, which says how much your organization has earned, that comes out on the first of the month. And then when we are writing checks, and those have been are going to be published, that hits your website as well. And both the monthly recap and the check posts are really, really powerful for getting your supporters involved, because people really like to see that they have helped your cause in a very tangible way. So all you really have to do to get started is click this great big Get Started button on the bottom here. That's going to take you over to Facebook in your browser. There it is. I'm going to log in to one of my Facebook accounts here. And then it's going to ask me about permissions, about giving iGive permissions, and you get to see exactly what's going to happen here. So it's going to say, for this first piece of permission, all it's going to do is give iGive access to your public profile. So that's nothing that nobody else can see on iGive anyway. So click OK to that. And then the second thing it's going to do is it's going to ask you for permission to post to your page on your behalf. And if you say no here, well, we're not going to be able to. This is the important one. You say okay.
Oh, you had some choices too. You could have made it public to everyone or just to your friends.
Oh.
Sandy chose friends in
Right.
this one. That's again a choice that you have to who's going to see this kind of
I guess
post.
for a cause page, I would probably want to do it public.
I probably would too, yes. But it's your choice. If you don't want necessarily the world to see your cause page stuff, then that's your choice.
Right. And then the last and most important piece here is to give iGive access to the pages that you're an administrator for, because without that, we can't actually write those posts to your fan page. So you say okay here. And now it's going to bring you back to iGive, and it's going to say, hey, we found this page that you're an administrator for. If you want to go ahead and link it, click this link now button, which I'm going to go ahead and do. Are you sure? Yep. We're giving you lots of opportunities here. If for some reason you decide you don't want to do it, that you can opt out without ever having had anything happen.
And now this gets to the page where Sally, you asked a question and Sandy is going to answer it now. Sally wants to know about choosing how many of these postings are going to appear on the cause Facebook fan page.
Well, there you go. This is where you set all that from. So for each of the 4 different kinds of information that we can post, you can turn them on or off completely. And then like the monthly recap only comes out once a month. So you can't set that more frequently, less frequently. It's just on or off. Same with checks, supporter activity, shop that Lennon was talking about. That depends how often people are shopping. So if people are getting annoyed because you have 2,000 people shopping every day and that's all they're seeing on your page, you could turn that off if you wanted. Registration is the one that, like I said, we recommend weekly or monthly, again, depending on how much content you have going to your page. And daily is kind of over the top.
It's a lot. And I would say that to me, if I were advising a cause and they were just wanting to sort of get their toes wet and try something new for the first time, the 2 things I would post would be a monthly registration link and the checks. And the reason I would post the checks is because, again, as I mentioned earlier, letting someone know that it's working and that your cause is actually earning money through iGive is huge. That's a great opportunity.
Right. And if you don't have many supporters yet on iGive and you are posting the monthly recap showing 0 earned, that's not going to be particularly motivating.
Correct.
Right. So
the checks and the registration link are a great way to sort of get started if you want to test the waters and see how it feels.
So you just set these various things to what you want. You click update settings and you're good to go. You can always post a test message to Facebook to see if it's working. And if for whatever reason later you decide, I don't want this doing this anymore, you just click this delete button and everything is stopped at that point.
Now, if I as a personal supporter want to also tell my friends, maybe who aren't going to my cause fan page, can I also do that, Sandy?
Yeah, and actually we've already, that first request that came from Facebook asking for permission to post was actually asking for permission to my personal account. Now, nothing's been set up yet for that, but except permission has been given.
So how do I do that?
So that's under your personal settings over here. We'll go to settings, and we go to Facebook settings. And again, you'll see here we've got Twitter also. But here, obviously, I'm already set up because it's asking me if I want to be able to delete. But we didn't automatically activate it, and so I can choose here whether I want my transaction posted and whether I want my a registration link posted to my personal wall, either weekly or monthly or never. So again, you can come in here, set that, click update, and again, if you want to undo this, you can do that.
According to our support team, one of the most frequently confused questions has to do with the fact that someone thinks that they deleted it and they're still seeing it posted. So if you want to change your settings, I recommend looking at both. If you're the cause administrator, looking at the cause settings as well as looking at your personal settings and make sure you've adjusted them both because they are separate. And obviously, as you all should know, every cause administrator is required to have their own personal account. So you have 2 separate sections. You have the cause account and you have the personal account.
So before I turn this back over to Lena, I don't have the screen up, but somebody had asked earlier if there was a one-page flyer that they could print and distribute to people. And I just wanted I wanted to come back here to the cause dashboard to show you a whole bunch of resources that are available to you off of these menus that kind of hang off the side of the cause dashboard.
Okay, don't show our banners and logo page yet. And the reason I'm going to say that is that we're in the process of updating that. We've heard from some of our causes that while they're okay, they're good, there's some good stuff, that they need some freshening up. So hopefully by the end of the summer, you'll get an email as a cause administrator saying, check out our banners and logos, because there's going to be all sorts of new and fun stuff there.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to go into these. So I just wanted to tell you about some of these. We talk about join links a lot. That's a shortcut so that you can post on Facebook, put in your email footer, put on anything that you want, your business card, so that when somebody clicks that link or types it in to sign up for iGive, that your cause is pre-selected.
I have another frequently asked question. People, when they're testing their join link at home, sometimes say, oh my gosh, I used my join link and I have the iGive button personally, me, Lena, and all of a sudden my email popped up in the field when I clicked on my join link. Because if you're signed in already as a member for iGive and then you click your join link, it is going to pre-populate with your email address. But when you send it out to your friends, they're not going to see your email address.
Right. So what's actually happening there is when you signed up, the information got stored and we're redisplaying it.
But it's only on your computer, so don't worry about it.
Right. To go back to that question that was asked, under this link of flyers and brochures, there's actually several one-page, half-page, and multiple-page flyers and brochures, a trifold, and various different options that you can print and distribute to your members or to potential supporters to get them to help with iGive.
And if you don't see something that you want there, either please feel free to create it. And if you create something cool, send it to us.
There's additional things under blurbs and ads. That's copy that you can use that talks about how people can use iGive to help your cause. Of course, all the links for managing your cause are here. And then over on this side, there's Q&A, there's questions, and that are really good for kind of getting started. And that's it. I'm going to hand this back to Lena if I can figure out how to do that. And as a technology person,
you're going to expand your orange button.
I just unshared, so you have to share.
No, you haven't just unshared. Yeah. But I can do it now. I can fix it. That's fine. All right. So here we are now back at my screen. And again, just as a review, those were the options that you can choose through Facebook. And we'll do that. And this is what you do on the personal pages. And Twitter you can also connect with. And we sort of have highlighted what that is, but I don't think we really need to spend a lot of energy on that. But you can connect your Twitter feed, and it's always a very positive thing. The bottom line with social media is really to use what's right for you. We have pre-selected Twitter and Facebook because, first of all, those integrations have made it possible for us to do that. The companies encourage groups like ours to be able to enable the auto posting, but also because we've seen them be fairly effective. But like I mentioned earlier, if your group is really big on Instagram or you have a lot of business connections and want to use LinkedIn, Google+, and we didn't really even talk about Vine or Snapchat, but I mean, those are also options. If those are tools that your organization is using, please try, experiment. And we do have some of those assets, like we said. If we don't have something you need, let us know. And if you create something really cool, consider sharing it with us if you're open to letting us share that with other members. Because again, we're trying to build a community here that works together and helps each other to grow. So here's the big, exciting moment. I'm waiting for the screen to change. I'm watching it. It's not going. There it is. It's promo time. I have people who email me all the time and say, when are you going to have a promo? When can I have an opportunity to earn more money for my cause? Well, it is here. Starting on Saturday?
The 17th.
Starting on the 17th, we are going to be having our back-to-school promo. The back-to-school promo is 5 plus 5 equals 10. Refer a new member using your tell a friend link. That tell a friend link is your not your cause join link, but your tell a friend link in your personal settings, and your cause will get $5, and whatever cause they sign up for will get $5. If they sign up for your cause, you get $10. If they sign up for a different cause, your cause is still getting $5. All they have to do is shop once. It's really, really that simple. You share your tell a friend link, and there will be an article on support.igive.com and a link to your tell a friend link at support.igive.com. But all you have to do is share your tell a friend link starting on the 17th. Have your friends click on it, put it all over social media, send out emails, do whatever you want. And then when the person shops the first time, you get $5 to your cause and they get $5 to their cause. I think it's pretty easy,
So if you're using your tell a friend link, first of all, that's going to act just like a join link, and it's going to pre-select your cause. So anybody who uses your link, your cause will be pre-selected. And in that case, when they sign up, you can actually get both of those $5 bonuses going to your cause.
To your cause, absolutely. So we're really excited about this promotion. This promotion is actually going to run throughout the entire month of August. So you got a lot of time, but tell people to get out there and get shopping. And by the way, we have some great back-to-school deals coming in August, so I suggest you check our social media for some of those deals, because some of them will be obviously always on our website or in our coupons, but some of them we're going to highlight in social media, particularly on Facebook and Twitter during the next 5 to 6 weeks. So think about it this way. You can save money on any back-to-school shopping or end-of-summer shopping that you have to do. And if you're telling your friends, you can make money as well.
So, and that's really one of the reasons that we're launching this here at the mid/end of July, because I know a lot of people like to start getting their back-to-school supplies early. I know that my wife likes to take care of all that stuff for the kids so that it's not last minute. So end of July can be a really good time for that too.
Well, and for those of you on the East Coast who are like, our kids just got out of school, if you've got any parents out there who are like, our kids just got out of school. Unfortunately, I'm in Chicago, I'm in the Midwest. My kids actually have to go back to school the second week of August, and I have some friends down in Georgia whose kids go back to school the first week in August. So unfortunately, depending on where you live in the country, the back-to-school season kind of ranges a little bit long. You have kids going back in August all the way until after Labor Day. So that's the other reason for starting it. So we're sorry if we're, harshing on your summer if you just started your summer vacation. But
well, then wait and shop in August.
Exactly. So now is the time for questions and answers. And if you stick around for a few more minutes, at the very end, we will tell you about our next iGive webinar as well. So
Lucy asks, what is the differences? Can you compare iGive to Amazon Smile?
I love that question. So here's what I'll say, Lucy. iGive is Amazon Smile for Amazon, but also for an additional almost 1,800 retailers. And the thing about Amazon is we like them, and they're doing a great job with their Smile program. But one of the things that I think is great is the fact that a lot of our retailers are even more generous than Amazon is. It's not that Amazon is bad, but really, like Walmart.com, did you know that they give 1.6% back, and Amazon is only giving 0.8%. There are other retailers out there, like talking about school supplies, like some of like Staples and some of the other office supply stores that give huge percentages back and sometimes offer bonuses during specific times. So you could get a store or a product that is as much as 10% back to your cause. If you use the iGive button, here's a quick tip. If you have the iGive button installed on your computer and you go to Google or Bing or Yahoo and you type in the type of product that you want to search, it will highlight all of those items in search and will show you a little seed icon right next to them to say this is an iGive participating store, and then you can click on it and see what the percentage is going to be and what they're going to give. So you could just look at what product you need and figure out which iGive stores. You can also do that on our website as well, but for me it's a little quicker just because I'm always on Google or Yahoo search. I hope that answers your question for the differences between iGive and Amazon.
So Ben asked, and of course we showed this, but asked, where do you go to access that cause Facebook link?
Would you like me to?
No, I'm not going to show it again, but when you're logged into the iGive site, you click on the cause link that's in the header. That'll take you to the cause dashboard, and then you get to that off of the menu that's hanging off the left side of that screen.
So Lucy, you asked, is iGive compatible with multiple shopping platforms? And I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Maybe if you could type in a little bit more explanation. But I mean, what I can say is that we have almost 1,800 different retailers.
So it's really not dependent on what the merchant's platform is. If you can use your web browser to access it and shop, and you went through iGive, either with the button or through our site, then it should work. Now, the iGive button is compatible with Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, and with Apple Safari, and I can tell you now that we are alpha testing internally a version to use with Microsoft Edge, which is not available yet, but will be soon. We've also got apps for Android as well as for Apple, for iPhone and for iPads. And while those are not automatic like the iGive button is in your browser, you have to go into them to use them. Donations will get made if you shop through using the apps on those devices.
So Ben asked if we provide a list of new merchants on a periodic basis. If you've subscribed to our iGive newsletter, every Sunday we do list the new merchants who have joined the iGive network in that past week.
Plus you can go right to your iGive homepage when you're logged in, and there's a section right there of all the newly added stores to iGive.
Correct. So both of those ways are for you to know, but always we don't denote them, on our site as a new merchant, although that's an interesting...
Well, actually, no.
No, we don't, with a symbol, he's asking.
Now, so there's actually on your iGive homepage when you're logged in, and you can also, when you have searched for something, if you go to the category called New Stores, all the new stores will appear in there as well. So there's several different ways to see new stores to iGive.
Janet wants to know if a nonprofit organization can have a LinkedIn account page, or is it only for individuals seeking employment? No, actually, LinkedIn is way beyond just individuals seeking employment. It is absolutely a networking tool, and even iGive has a page on LinkedIn as well. So you can absolutely use iGive, LinkedIn, sorry. You can absolutely use LinkedIn as a place for your not-for-profit organization there. So that answers that question.
So Christine is asking kind of a technical question about the iGive button and Amazon. Amazon actually, so her question is, when she uses the link to go to Amazon that is present inside the button, and she goes to Amazon, the triangle that appears in the right-hand corner isn't appearing anymore. And that's actually due to a change Amazon made to their website recently. And everything is still working, donations are still happening, but that's not appearing.
But one of the important things that you should know is that you should always check your recently visited stores. If your store visit from whatever store it is appears in your recently visited stores, then your tracking is working. And someone else asked, and I think it may have gone away, that they were having some issues with logging in, and that even though they have the iGive button, that it asked them to log in again. That's a question that I would like you to send to support.igive.com, and we would be happy to address that on an individual basis. When you have individual questions like that, it's important for us to be able to track the conversation we're having with you, and to be able to dig a little deeper into what's going on with your own account. So please always feel free to use it. It's a great way for us to reach out.
Lucy asks a really great question about e-script programs. So that's sites and programs where you can get gift cards or e-gift cards online, and some of those are associated with 501c3s and other charities. And in most cases, if you have a gift card, actually I think in almost every case, If you have a gift card, if you go shopping through iGive, you can use that as a payment method and therefore double dip.
And while I'm not opposed to the eScript program, I've actually used it myself. Double check on our site because a lot of times you can also buy gift cards. There's some stores that have exceptions that say you can't, but there are stores where you can buy gift cards online through iGive and get a donation as well.
And a great way to check that is, again, if you're on the search results, there is a category just for gift cards.
Right.
And every company that is listed in there supports purchases of gift cards.
Correct. So that's really, really important. Well, we're getting really close to the end. We try to keep these webinars just down to 1 hour. So I do want to let you know that our next webinar, and since I did notice that a lot of you are actually fairly new to iGive, our next webinar next month is going to be iGive for Beginners and Beyond. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually walk you through some different ways of using different parts of the website. So Sandy did a little bit of that today when he was talking about Facebook, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper and spend time just sort of walking around the iGive website and making sure that people understand it and are comfortable with it. We are going to be offering that webinar twice, once at 1 o'clock on Wednesday the 24th of August, and then once at 7 p.m. on the 25th. So please feel free to sign up. We will also be sending out invites, and in support.igive.com under upcoming webinars, these are posted as well, these links to register. So, we hope that either you or friends of yours who are newer to iGive, who are sort of like, how does all this work? How do I do this? Will consider joining the iGive webinar today. If we didn't get to your questions, we will try and send out some emails separately to you and let you know, but we really appreciate your time, and Sandy, I appreciate your technical expertise here, and thank you guys so much for being here with us, and thank you so much for using iGive.com. We hope that you all have a fabulous day.
Bye, everybody.